I doubt I'm the only one that struggles with this. What I'm talking about is, as a follower of Jesus, I know I'm supposed to focus on following Jesus. He's the #1 relationship. I want to be about the kingdom business, make my life count in the kingdom, do things to serve the Lord that would maybe bring other people to closer to Christ. We know all these things. And yet in a second, in a nanosecond, after focusing on that, maybe during my morning devotions, in a nanosecond, I'm off focusing on self again. And it's kind of a subtle thing. I don't sit there and go, now I'm going to focus on self. But it just happens, right? For you too, where all of a sudden you're concerned about your comfort, your security, your happiness. And when that happens, now I'm starting to focus on how I can control people and manipulate people and control situations so that I'm more happy, I'm more secure, right? Does this resonate with anyone else? I bet it does. Well, here's something I'm learning to do. I'm trying to train myself, especially in interactions with my loved ones, who can be the most frustrating people, right? Because you live in close proximity to them, whether it's your husband, your child, maybe it's your mother or your mother-in-law or whatever, the person that's driving you nuts, or you're frustrated with them, or they're disappointing you. And of course, our first reaction is like, well, this stupid person, I just need to get them to change. That's usually our first reaction. And of course, the devil is egging us on, right? He is the father of lies. Jesus says that about the devil in John 8, that he's the father of lies. So he's going to be whispering lies to you in that challenging moment with that person, perhaps a challenging moment with your husband. He's going to be whispering, you've got to do something about this. You've got to get him to change. You've got to tell him what is wrong with him. I mean, he's whispering all these lies. Meanwhile, the Holy Spirit is quietly, because he's just a gentleman. The Holy Spirit is a gentleman. He's quietly saying, it's not about you. I mean, yes, I want you to be taken care of, but it's not all about you. You're not the center of the universe. Maybe you could change your focus. And so I'm trying to train myself in those disappointing moments to ask a very simple question of the Lord. And again, this would apply to a challenging moment with your husband, with your child, your teenager, your adult child, your mother, whoever. I'm training myself to ask this question, Lord, instead of focusing on me, Lord, how do you want me to interact with this person for their good in all of eternity? Whew, what a game changer. All of a sudden I realize, wow, I mean, the words I choose right now, the way I interact, that could really impact whether this person moves closer to Christ and is there in eternity with me at the marriage supper of the Lamb, or whether this person just gets so frustrated and disappointed in themselves that they just back out and run away from God and seek, worldly pursuits because they feel like they could just never measure up. Do you see what I mean? So ask that question. Train yourself to ask that question at every challenging moment, every disappointing moment in a relationship. Lord, how do you want me to interact with this person for their good in eternity? And God might give you different nudges as you ask that question. Maybe he's going to say, speak identity to this person. They need to be encouraged. Or maybe he's going to say, set boundaries, loving boundaries, gentle, loving, respectful boundaries with this person because they actually need discipline in their life so that they make it into the kingdom. Listen for those Holy Spirit nudges, but ask that question and train yourself to ask that question. It is a game changer.